It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. Time to analyze how strong and smart is Lex Luthor. He doesn't have as many feats. Well, he still does have a lot of feats still, but he doesn't have as many feats as like somebody like Batman or something, right? But he does have a lot of noteworthy ones. I'm going to be going all over the continuities, pre-crisis, post-crisis, and etc. To sum it up short, he pretty much hates super people. He ended up being a friend of Superboy in the pre-crisis era, for example. Was it a lab accident? Superboy wasn't fast enough, and Lex's hair fell out during this accident. From that day, Lex dedicated his mastery of science to completely destroy the Man of Steel. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, different iterations of this happen. And pretty much every continuity, he just has this thing out for the Man of Steel, right? But before I go any farther, thank you all that have donated to the channel. Appreciate it a lot. It really does help out a lot.
Deathstroke, time for you to join the party. Call him. Bring him to me. Yes. You don't deserve to live. Beaten by a mere man. I beat you. Me, Lex Luthor! We were too busy fighting amongst ourselves to see the danger.
Let's get it. He had the war suit even in this old run. Even though this war suit's a bit different, it's actually made from the planet Luthor. Debatably one of the suit's best iterations, depending on the different runs, because it literally has no kryptonite weaponry like the other suits does to such a degree. For one, he has this thing known as the power gloves. They're actually able to harm characters like Superboy. They can harm Superman with a punch. Even when he was enlarged, has even sent him flying on occasions. They have the ability to absorb energy, and they can shatter the wall with the raw power of it, right? Stuff like of that sort. Usually people have different facets of intellect. Lex Luthor seems like he's very versed in just all forms of intellect. Like he has enough intelligence to literally hypnotize somebody with a wheel. Just general stuff that's not super crazy yet. This is the part that will be shocking to you. Even Clark's super brain has trouble with some of Lex's equations. It states here, even with my super mental powers, I have to pour over these formulas and equations to get a grasp on them. Ain't that crazy? He's a freaking super brain. This guy knows how to train birds to his advantage. Somehow, Joker was able to get Lex's intellect. Don't ask. He was freaking out because of how smart Lex was and how he was able to interpret everything. I don't know how you hypnotize people by throwing a light bulb back and forth, but the skills you have to do this is insanity. Very good deductive reasoning. He was able to figure out how to break Brainiac out of his supposedly unbreakable cell with relative ease. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to get some more war suit stuff real fast. But when it comes to him just physically, right? He got kicked by Black Canary and stayed conscious. Just one of those people I would consider in the super soldier tiers physically, you know? When it comes to physical strength, he gave depowered Superman a black eye, can hang on par with a depowered Superman in a fight. You know what I mean? Like completely depowered. No superpowers at all, right? He does this to a depowered Superboy, no powers. Was able to kick down a door with his kicking power. He's able to evade close range gunfire, showing off a little combat speed here and there. Let's get into the war suit, shall we? So the war suit's pretty quick. He's able to move quick enough to vanish from people's eyesight. It can also aid Lex when he's out the suit, showing in this occasion how he was able to catch Lex for him while he was falling. Like, just jumped in it for him, showing that it will follow his commands. This feat one wouldn't be correct if it wasn't shown to be able to fight pre-crisis Superman, by the way, and it caused this much devastation, causing geographic disturbances, might I add. This war suit, he's consistently able to fight Superman, and not only that, it was able to kind of trap Superman to where he couldn't really do too much. Not exaggerating. Full-blown, straight slugging out, trading blows with him. Think about it. He tackled Superman through the Earth's crust. Like, imagine how much power or energy this would produce. Heat vision from a weakened Superman, he can take it. It's durable. It's not getting shattered. Lex is smart enough to create a suit that's durable enough to withstand a planet exploding, and he survives it thanks to this suit. His suit has insane energy weapons to the point where it can one-shot characters like the Flash and Wonder Woman pre-crisis era. Has enough blast power to blast this meteor like this. It's island-sized, by the way, and he blasts it to Earth, might I add. He can lift up cargo, guys. One blast can blow up an entire cargo ship. Let's talk about his raw intellect. He literally made an invisible belt, created a giant pinwheel used to hypnotize people. Like, this is the type of stuff they did back in the old days, so yeah. Created an extremely powerful Superman clone, aka duplicate. Created a satellite to turn all the lead in the world into glass, created a shrinking belt, created androids that were invulnerable to heat or pressure because Lex. Some of this stuff seems like magic. Like he turned a radio into a atom transmitter. What he did this while he's in prison. Like, how do you even have the resources to do this? That atom transmitter will project my image outside of the prison walls for 10 minutes, but it will be a solid image of me and the super ray device I'm holding. You know what I mean? He created a nuclear bomb disguised as a robot with a realistic face to fool even Superman. He's creating stuff that can make stuff around him transmutate into different substances to make Superman have to deal with a lot of BS. He's even created a solar ray to help plants prosper, to protect them from winter. Okay, some of this intellect features is just magic at this point. He made a time machine out of random BS in his cell. Like, really? This is straight wacko. Created a robot double while in prison, neutron bomb. Created another time machine. He made a helmet that kind of gave him some telekinesis, cosmic type power, right? He made it look like Lois Lane was cursed because of science, right? Super science. He made something that can beam information into your brain. Did I mention he can make a knockout gas gun too? This is pre-crisis era for you, making a time machine out of some freaking cans and some stuff. Like what? While this dude was in prison, this dude made a powerful pistol that was strong enough to hit Superman through the sun, even sent him through time. This is why I said this was a gun used to harm Superman, but it also kind of was a time machine. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. Made a device that projects his voice and face everywhere he pleases. He made an invisible repeller ray. This dude Lex made it stated here, a de-atomizing the blue kryptonite aura. Not only was he able to copy Brainiac's tech, but he was able to modify it. It states here, however, Brainiac's ray affects whatever it strikes permanently, while my ray effect is only temporary. There was this darkness ray that blanketed multiple city blocks in pitch black darkness. Made this giant floating metal hand strong enough to pick up buildings. Created a ray that makes stuff into different substances. Something that makes coal into diamonds. Creates a weapon that fires anti-gravity tornadoes. He created this ring that has that projector spreads out a wall of dark force that no heat, light, or energy can pass. Just because his war suit doesn't have kryptonite like that, he has created some kryptonite type stuff though. He created a time-space thought scanner and a kryptonite warhead. Yes, you heard that correctly. This missile with its green kryptonite warhead. Yeah, I know. He was able to rewire Brainiac's brain to make him a 12th level intellect. How do you improve Brainiac though? Brainiac's already crazy. He made a machine that gave him Superman-like powers. And of course, you gotta have battlefield removal rays, like having rays that can send folks to the Phantom Zone, the ultimate prison. This dude's forever making robots in prison with bullcrap. How do you create a bunch of floating bombs that's able to change the moon's geography? You know this warsuit was a beast. He could just create all this type of stuff. It kind of backs up why his warsuit is so strong. It stayed here. That will change the moon's geography a little. A printing press. He made it into a literal weapon and an armored tank, basically. Ludicrous. He copied Mxyzptlk's energy and scanned his body and ended up giving himself 5-dimensional abilities like Mxyzptlk. Are you freaking kidding? Lex, if you got this type of intellect, how are you ever going to be defeated? Well, one could say, how strong is... This video could be basically renamed, How Strong is Lex with prep, might I add. He creates ice grenades to freeze Superboy. He made force field-like things where even characters like Superman got to exert himself to get through. You see, he's like, ugh. His gravity gun was strong enough to pretty much make Superman immobile for quite a bit, right? He could be helpful when he's acting right. He made this thing to where Superman could still retain his powers under a red sun. So if he was good, he could help out quite a bit. Hey, let me get some bottles of sodas and turn them into rocket engines. What? And made yourself a carbonite rocket engine. Are you kidding? He can somehow even transfer his hate. Like so. It states here, no doubt about it, my psychic sonic hammer has transferred all my hatred into Superman. And he made a satellite that completely fixed the ozone layer before. He made a shrink ray to send somebody to the microverse before. Earth 2 Superman, for example. And yes, he has made a gravity gun more than one occasion, it seems, to be able to incapacitate Superboy. Might I add, this was a teenage Lex. Oh, by the way, he made something to transfer Superboy's power to him. That freaking crazy? He even made a machine that caused Superman to hallucinate. By the way, his layer is a radium-powered rocket ship. Here, radium-powered motors. You know what I mean? He made a heat ray, freeze ray, and something to test your intellect. Not gonna lie, Lex is pretty decent at chemistry and stuff of that sort. He created a serum that allowed him to emit kryptonite from his body. You can't be Lex without creating synthetic kryptonite. He created seeds that would grow like fruit trees. Talk about farming. Made gas that's lighter than air because he's in prison making stuff again, doing stuff physics-wise that shouldn't make sense in prison, but you know what I'm saying. Made a serum that temporarily stripped Superman of his power. Recreated a kryptonite disease because he just likes to be aggravating. Like, really though, look at his hands. He did this using a prison lab. Ain't that silly? Created a machine working, basically a working clone machine, just because he can. He believes he has a 90% chance to cure a plague that was a century old. It was messing up Lana Lang. So, you know, Superman and Lex had to work together from time to time to help him out. Oh yeah, and by the way, here's the lore on the plague. Although the lethal microorganisms were swiftly neutralized by the super antibodies in my kryptonite bloodstream, this was not in my first contact with them. Identical microbes had been responsible for the most dreadful tragedy of my life, the tragic losses of my beloved adopted parents, Jonathan and Martha Kent. None of us had any inkling that the Caribbean vacation I had promised them would lead to their doom. The freaking dark. Ugh, look at the stuff on the floor, nasty plague. He was able to cure a very bad illness in his final stages because he's that smart, evidently only in a few days. He created the galactic golem, a being, like, yeah, literally the galactic golem is a Superman tier-ish being that can fight on par with Superman, trade blows with him, cause him discomfort, all that type of stuff. Because I'm just that smart, because I'm Lex Luthor, right? I will admit, pre-crisis Lex Luthor is a little loony-toony. Some of this stuff should not be possible, you know what I mean? But let's get on to the fun stuff, like kind of similar current stuff. New 52 and post-crisis seem a lot similar, so I'm just going to go ahead and go over both of those throughout the feed run, like just mixing them all together just in case you're curious. You know what I mean? War suit is still into play, things of that sort.
Because I know evil!
That awkward moment when you realize in the New 52 era they actually had him figure out his identity. Batman's identity, Lex figured out. I got a video about how strong is Batman with prep time. It goes over the battle suits, and one of them is Hellbat, for example, so check that video out. Tell me why Lex was able to hack into the Hellbat. Back in the post-crisis era, he actually was able to cure an incurable disease and gives it back because he's an a-hole. Lex giveth and Lex taketh away. Does some type of scientific mumbo-jumbo to science a red sun into a yellow sun. How does that even work, my dude? He's somehow able to bioengineer a bomb, a human bomb, that can destroy the entire planet. He made a robotic Lois Lane because why the heck not? They're so lifelike that characters like Gorilla Grodd got mistook for it and tried to eat it and was like, no, that's not right. He took out members of the Bat family with odorless nerve gas, right? Gotta love it. Love the Public Enemy's art style, don't lie. Love the Ed McGuinness style. He actually made this being known as Hope, an enhanced human that can give Superman issues, that level of punching power. He managed to somehow out-hack Brainiac somehow. Telling me he ain't no smart human, bro. War suit, baby. It says engage micro armor burrows. Engage micro armor burrow defenses. Really? Plank lith rams, null point collapse seeds, prime spray, neuron shock tags. Excellent. Mate, you use vocal commands. Yo, that's strategies. Don't forget that his war suit seems to be able to harm top tier beings like Brainiac, right? And even do this, right? Because Lex. Let's not forget the time that Lex pretty much achieved godhood by merging with the Zone Child. He ended up getting what, quote unquote, infinite power. Like this Lex was on another level. He seemed to do this fusion with the Zone Child through a force of will. By the way, the war suit is a fusion of human, apocalyptian, and Kryptonian tech, which is why it's so powerful, which makes sense, right? But of course, this is one of those things where it's temporary power-ups. This Zone Child merging was temporary, of course. Lowballing the snot out of Lex in this Zone Child state, though, he had to be in those Skyfather's mega lowballing. It states here, my reach extends across the universe. Just to get more lore on the Zone Child stuff, I know you guys are probably curious about it. It states here, how'd you get this power? What is it? I've merged forms with, well, it was once a child, utterly alien like you. It evolved in the Phantom Zone, the only one of its kind. It sensed empathically, found that its universe was being filled by the criminals, your people exiled there. Their every thought hurt it, and so it preyed on their phantom forms. But they fled and hid, and more kept coming. So it made the black ring of energy spheres and used them to enter our universe, intending to destroy a negative emotion at the source. He's so obsessed with Superman, he stated here, the first thing you come after is me when you get this type of power. With his new ability, he's able to make Superman experience suffering. Superman even states, don't make me experience this again. And I quote in this state, he had what? Infinite power. Infinite power is mine. In an instant, the universe changes. It seems like he has no limits on what he can do. He literally created just complete universal happiness, like this, for example, making Vandal savage and the Lanterns happy, the Nigerians, Grodd, LaFreeze, even Batman, like what? He's got that type of power, universal scale. But of course, there was a catch to his power. He was above Superman at this instant, but the power will not let him use it in bad ways. It states here, the harder you try to destroy me, the more power you lose. The war suit in the New 52, however, though, back to the standard stuff, right? It's pretty durable. It can endure some hits from Ultraman, a being that can like kind of shatter into metal, which is kind of impressive. Got a video about Hawkman you might want to check out to prove that, right? He even endured a speed blitz from Barry Allen in the New 52, the Flash, right? Took some blows from a sun-dipped Superman. He wasn't ready, of course, but it wasn't getting shattered like into liquid in his New 52 run. But yeah, he wasn't ready though, yeah. In the post-crisis, it was made of some biometal. It can be stored in a suitcase. What if I told you he got in a battle with LaFreeze? I got a video about LaFreeze, so this is kind of impressive. Got shielding that kind of can take some attacks. But yeah, I'm not saying he's necessarily on LaFreeze's level, but yeah. He has a short-range teleporter as well. This dude is just aware, man. He predicted Brainiac's plans. He kind of matched the Zone Child in like a mental plane, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? It states here, if I meet it on the mental plane, an environment I understand and control. This is how he was able to merge with it and stuff of that sort. Like, believe it or not, he's not trash at fighting like you probably think. He's actually been trained by Amazons in just raw skills. Doesn't necessarily need a battle suit to be, and I would say maybe in the Harley Quinn tier, not necessarily like equal to Batman or nothing, but he can hang in there good enough, right? If that makes sense. But I'd give him the strength advantage over Harley Quinn. But, you know, I'm saying that because Harley Quinn isn't quite on the level of Batman, but she still can fight really well and can hit really hard. You know what I mean? Even Superman, when he's depowered, is still a pretty decent fighter, and he's pretty strong physically enough to maybe punch through brick walls and stuff like that without no powers, right? And Lex was able to hang in there in a slugfest with depowered Superman. They both fell over. He has too many weapons based on paired for Kryptonians that can harm Kryptonians. You know what I mean? His war suit is pretty freaking durable. I mean, even characters like a black Supergirl, an evil version of Supergirl. This is where it was stated here about the armor being forged from the pits of Apocalypse, heat vision. Nothing can damage it. It's durable enough to take attacks from Kryptonians. Just in case you're wondering why it's this durable and powerful. Yeah. And of course, the standard stuff. He should have combat speed without even his war suit being involved. In no battle suit, similar to characters like Katana, Batman, etc. Be able to pluck bullets out there. Stuff like that. Remember that Kryptonians and Mon-El and Daxamites and characters of that sort, like Supergirl, that couldn't hardly harm the suit, have power levels to the point of being able to like push white dwarf stars and stuff of that sort to different solar systems and stuff like of that sort. Just to give you an example of why beings like Supergirl or in the tier of Supergirl or Supergirl in general having trouble to break this war suit makes it extremely impressive. Goodness gracious. Not to mention that Superman has actually held black holes before. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Stuff that can blast away solar systems. That type of power. And these are the type of beings that Lex and the war suit be fighting. And they have difficulty breaking his armor into pieces. I'm not saying they can't break it into pieces, but they have difficulty breaking it into pieces. After the Darkseid War, aka the amazing event that I might cover on this channel in like a full review style format, if y'all would like to see that, Lex acquired a mother box, right? And he created a new war suit based on Superman when the post-Flashpoint Superman died and etc. Using this war suit, he decided to take on the mantle of Superman and becoming the new protector of Metropolis. Come on, Lex. I will admit, this is one of my favorite suit designs. This dude, Lex, actually was going out and saving folks, like the little gun heist here. You see the logo here, and it's like they're shooting at him. Lex comes and gets involved, and he's the one that stops all this mess. He's here to save the day, and I ain't got this under control. I love that blue with that S, though. I'm not going to lie. But crazy that it was short-lived because post-crisis Superman comes, and they have like a little scuffle, and this suit is pretty durable still because of the new technology. The new war suit took a hit from this Superman. Shoot these black blasts right here, they seem to be very powerful, but not doing too much damage, right? He seems to have still good weapons and artillery, like even like a unibeam looking blast here. Power stroke, well, I'm the Superman, not you. This suit seems to be durable enough to take hits from Doomsday still. The suit still seems to be up there in them black hole ranges or near them black hole ranges, being able to cause freaking Doomsday some discomfort still. I'm not saying he's on Doomsday's level, but you get the point. They're both trying to prove they're the heroes of the story. So Lex and Superman are basically working together against Doomsday to try to make the public see them in a good light. Yeah, the suit still has its limits. Like, yeah, it still ain't a match for Doomsday completely. It can cause him harm, but not completely a match, right? You got some more lore on the suit right here. It says, I should be out of this fight, but thanks to Apocalypse, I have this mother box with godlike abilities. I'll get me back into fight so Metropolis sees true Superman operates. Implied to be able to, like, recharge the suit or heal it up. Cool attributes is that it seems to have laser beams in the suit of this new war suit. Just cool stuff. He's actually helping aid in minimizing collateral damage. Going back to the post-crisis stuff right fast, I would like to add that his war suit is very powerful to the point it even off-screen was able to take out Sinestro and Gorilla Grodd in more recent comic. Yes, that is Batman indeed using it. The war suit is actually worth Batman time. That's something to be noted. You know, Batman ain't gonna just be using no trash. Luthor even explains how it works. Oh, Batman, I'm so flattered. You deemed that old prototype, aka a worse war suit, of mine worth keeping. Its a neural net commands must be useful in your condition. He has had quite a bit of battles, not too many battles, but just to show that his suits or battle suits and tactics mixed together can hold up quite well, I would say, right? I showed bits and pieces of this earlier. Like pretty much armored up in the war suit, strong enough to fight against characters like Brainiac one-on-one, giving them harm, or things like that. Unarmored, it's going against Bat family members like even Nightwing, able to hold his ground in an actual fight, harm them, react to them, things like that. Basically super soldier tier. You know, I showed a piece of this earlier. Le Fleas fighting on par with this being, showing how powerful this suit is. Blasters, durability, shielding. Same with ridiculous characters like Ultraman, basically Superman. Let's just say it. Dude be going to work. And let's not talk about that one evolution Lex had. It pertains to Martian the Manhunter. It states here, Lex, you're insane. It's a pity. It really is. It didn't have to be this way. You let me into your mind. That was the first mistake. My technology has been mapping it, hacking it. I suppose you could say my father once dreamt of cloning a human body capable of taking in Martian DNA. I perfected that design. I became the design. Your mind will be obliterated, but your power and essence will be mine. I was never going to leave this to chance. You must understand that. There's no malice here. I'm glad it's you. But this will be very painful. They say, Luthor! Designed it to negate the vibrational qualities of your nth metal. Very smart feat. Intelligent feat. Yep. The evolution of Lex. And let's be honest, we all know what Martians can do in there in the Superman tier concretely. But guys, that's just about going to do it. I would say, I don't think I missed anything major. Let me know if I did in the comments below. And if it is, what is it that I missed major? I don't think, I went over his weapons, gear, and equipment. They have laser beams. They have rocket packs. You know, in this war suit, different type of war suits. He's got different power-ups. We gotten Godhood, gotten Martian powers, you know what I mean? Basically, during the Perpetual event that's going on recently, you know, stuff like that. Post them comments down below. Let me know what you all think. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this rundown. And it was a nightmare to make, but I do this to entertain you guys, and entertainment is key. I will see you guys later.